Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Van Dweller back with more classic Tetris Monthly DAS Masters for June 2025. We've got 3 streams for you today, 3 full preliminary brackets of DAS Masters. So right now we are doing Teal. Let's take a look at that. Teal, there it is. Teal. So we're doing match 6 and number 14 here, round 1, round 2. First match is going to be Chroma versus Iankeith, and the winner of that is going to take on Hana. This will all feed into a top 16 match against the defending champion Giovanni. That is going to happen sometime later this month. So yeah, that is what is happening right now. Now later tonight, basically in 5 hours, we're going to be doing the green bracket. That's going to be Poopy Old Hag versus Meme. And the winner of that will take on AV Geek, and the winner of that will take on Knight later in the month. So that is at 7 o'clock Texas time, which is, I think, midnight UTC. Then 2 hours after that, so basically right after green, it's going to be red. And that is going to be Zach versus JDH. The winner will take on Miles, and eventually that will feed into a match with Merker. So we are making some progress. What do we have done on the other side? Yeah, we've got basically 3 out of 4 determined on our other side. Uff Means Egg will be playing Toogie, Dog will play Andy, Wallbant will be playing Bendy, and that yellow one is going to take place tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, we're going to be 7/8. No, actually, yeah, and then we're going to do pink. So after tomorrow, we will be done with, we'll determine all of our top 16. And in fact, tomorrow, we do have a top 16 matchup for you tomorrow. It's going to be Pixel Andy versus Dog, Bendy versus Wallbant, and then winner versus winner for a semi-final spot. So there are, 3 streams today, 3 streams tomorrow, all DAS Masters. So big DAS weekend for y'all. And then it's Masters on Sunday, 3 streams of that. There's a lot going on. So that is what we've got for you right now. It's going to be Teal, Chroma versus Iankeith, winner versus Hana, 2 matches. Let us take a look at our rules. Yes, we do have rules, and the rules are that this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. On NTSC consoles, players can play an emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified. Players can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical or even biological. No biological turbo, because this is a DAS tournament and players will be asked to heed the spirit of DAS. That means the press and hold play style that predominated during the golden veterans era, whatever you want to call it, of competitive Tetris. It's what Jonas would play. Play that. Just play like Jonas, guys. No problem. Anyway, it is a best of 5, so the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. Level 18 starts all the way through. Same piece sets will be re-rolled in between each game of the match. Players, make sure your Hertz and input display are turned on your Tetris Gym tournament cartridge. And also remember, players, you should not be receiving any in-game real-time advice. Should also not be pausing unless the commentator tells you. If you do run into tech issues, just keep playing. Often they'll resolve themselves. Sometimes the stream will come back. Just keep playing and we will sort it out in the end. Unless I tell you to stop playing, keep playing. The winner of this tournament and other people in this tournament will get prizes, and they will be doled out in the following way. Yes, right now we're paying the top 4, and they will be parceled out according to the percentages on your screen. Right now the prize pool is $102.99. If we do reach our $1,000 top 8 incentive, we will pay the top 8. It means twice as many people get a payday, and as you can imagine, that is very inspiring and motivating to the players. It keeps them coming back, and it overall keeps the DAS scene alive. DAS has reemerged as a top-level competitive endeavor. No thanks in small part to this tournament and a few other tournaments like Jonas Cup and the DAS Champions League. And the thing that's going to keep these players coming back and motivated is that prize pool. So please help out that prize pool. Use the Matcherino command if you're watching live on Twitch or YouTube. That'll bring up 2 links. The second is the one for DAS Masters. Click on that. That'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. And in the top right-hand corner, that's where you log in. Click on that. That'll open up a little thing that enables you to log in with any number of accounts, including your existing Twitch or YouTube account. If you're watching after the fact, go to go.ctm.gg/DAS prize or, just go to that. Okay. 100% fan-funded prize pool. You are the sponsors. There's no other sponsors. It is just you. So that is how to support the players. If you want to support the channel, do that. Go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris. That'll allow you to make an ongoing pledge of support to the channel. Keeps this and other tournaments going here on monthly Tetris. So if you want this to continue, then please do that. Big thanks to everybody on the screen, including Scott, Great, Jay in the window, K9, Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy, Dan, Kim, M, Rogue, Potato, Cat Kit, and Mila. Really appreciate all of you. And I'm going to flop over to our play scene, see what we got going. All right, this doesn't look so bad, except Iankeith apparently is being held in an underground bunker, but that's all right. We'll deal with it. We'll be fine. It's no problem. Maybe we should call 911. Like who has captured Iankeith? My word. Okay, no, it's fine. You don't have to up your bit, right? No, I'd rather you have a reliable internet than clear camera, to be honest. So as long as you're on there, that is fine. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of you, right? So that is part of it. You're going to switch to Twitch to dodge the ads. Yeah, whatever you got. We like to blow up the cameras, make them nice and big. You can see the big, beautiful Tetris player that you are. And anyway, we got a high-res image of you in your hat down at the bottom right hand of your screen, which is fun. Ads? What ads? Some people see ads on YouTube, believe it or not. What the heck? It's like my one extravagance right now is paying for YouTube Premium. I watch so much YouTube. If I had to sit there and watch ads, forget it, Forget it. Left 2/3. All right, looks like players are warming up here, so let us watch them warm up, but also give them pieces. The pieces are coming. Zuli says YouTube Premium is amazing. I mean, I don't know if it's amazing because I'd rather just not watch ads and then I don't watch ads, but it's much better than watching the ads. I mean, God. Especially if you are someone who falls asleep to YouTube. Like, you put on some ASMR video or rain sounds or Jenny Nicholson or whatever. Angry Video Game Nerd. I know some people who fall asleep to Angry Video Game Nerd. Then, it's worth it to not have ads blaring at you while you're trying to sleep. Okay, players, there are pieces in the chat. It's going to be DB5366. Thank you for the pin, Squirrely. Appreciate that. I mean, I guess it's amazing. Yeah, I guess it is amazing that so much content can be made available with an option to not have to, to pay, only $26 or whatever it is, $23 a month. I mean, it's pretty expensive compared to other streamers, but there's so much on YouTube, You fell asleep to old Dr. Mario speedrun tournaments sometimes. Oh, there you go. Feel free to fall asleep to CTM. Just, keep that going. But you got to turn ads on, right? All right, let's make sure seeds are good. DB5366, DB5366. Okay. We have got two players who are ready to play round one of Das Masters June 2025 Teal bracket. Let us get them started. Chroma versus Iankeith in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yes, YouTube Premium used to be like $9.99 a month, and now I think it's like $22, $23.99 a month, something like that. All right, Iankeith is here trying to do something, some kind of business there, stage business with the controller. That's okay. He's got it figured out. On the left side of your screen, it is Chroma, qualified into this tournament in seed number 23. The 956,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Chroma is from South Korea, has a PB of 1.17 million. That's good for about 88th on the Das PB leaderboard. This is Chroma's 5th appearance in Das Masters, and he's finished as high as top 8. And that was in March of 2025. Chroma also made his debut in the Masters event this month. And actually, I believe, won a round 1 match. He's also a former Tier 1 community winner. That was in 2023. He's been in Challenger Circuit a couple times. Also played in Mega Masters 2024. And won an online sort of regional that was for Korean players, and beat Trapzone, or not beat, but played against Trapzone in the finals and took Trapzone to a decider. So there you go. 183 for Chroma, 165 for Iankeith. And on the right side of your screen, it is Iankeith, who is here and playing Tetris in the number 26 seed. They qualified in with a 948 average. Oh no, that deep long bar well is blocked off by a tee that did not get all the way over to the right and just made it completely inaccessible. That is a top out for Iankeith, and Chroma will take game number 1 very quickly. I couldn't even get through the intros. Iankeith keeping a long-standing Das Masters tradition alive. Oh, God. Fire alarm, guys. All right. Yeah, they have mandatory fire inspections today on the place, and so I think they just accidentally triggered the fire alarm. Probably something that will happen again. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and get new pieces for these players. AAC209. So annoying. I mean, I'll just turn off commentary and you'll have to just watch the other screen. I mean, I'm not about this today. Regina Phalange missed the tie. That's right. Oh, for God's sakes. All right, we're back again. Yeah, the fire alarm company checking out the fire alarm, and it'll happen again. I know it's gonna happen again, and I'm just gonna have to go on mute again. All right, so a quick game number one in the books. Chroma up 1-0. There we go. Great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Don't worry, I'm still alive. Okay. Yeah, it stopped for a moment there. So Chroma's stream has gone dark for about 20 levels. Scores were super close. We may we'll see. We'll give Iankeith till 19 here. We may just restart the thing, but just keep playing until 19. And we will see. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and restart. Unless I can, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna replay this one. It's just a disaster, Masters. So sorry, guys. We are gonna restart this one. You know, we're still on level 18 when it happened, so I'm sorry. We're still on level 18 when it happened. It was close, and it does not appear to be coming back. So my apologies, everyone. What a disaster. Cripe. And Ian's like, oh my God, I got a 500K into 19. Oh, you got a 1.2. You're fine. Perfectly timed fire alarm. Yes, I'm alive. Whap, whap, whap. I know. All right, we'll see if we can get Chroma back. It is. Your internet died. Is it totally dead? Is it like dead? Your laptop is dead. I need a nap, guys. I need a nap. I'm cranky and I need a nap. All right. So I don't know. Chroma, do you think you're going to be able to get it back up, or you don't know? Oh, you're back. All right. All right. We're going to try this again. Oh my God. I need a nap. I'm cranky. The pieces we're going to increment, guys. We're going to do BBC209. I'm going to refresh both these streams. Sorry, guys. Disaster Masters. And Chroma's stream not coming back. Okay. There it is. All right. There it is. There it is. We're feeling good now. BBC 209. All right. Well, it's game 2. Chroma versus Iankeith after a very quick game number 1. Let's get them started in game number 2. Iankeith looking to tie it up. We had a game 2, but there was fire alarms, there was internet outages. I'm blaming tariffs, guys. I think it's all tariffs. That's my theory. All right, Iankeith, learning from yesterday's Masters stream, getting some pushdown points. Last night during Masters, we actually had a tie. It happened in a game. In game 4, with Tetris Time and Sodium, they both topped out. I think it was 9,880 points, 12 lines. So it actually happened for the first time in a Masters stream anyway. There have been reports of other times where a tied game happened, but first time I've ever done one, and first time in Masters. So I guess, that getting some pushdown points early, that could be the meta. 61,000 for Iankeith, 72,000 for Chroma. Anyway, the intros. I didn't get to really do the intros. We did Chroma's intro, and on the right side of your screen, it is Iankeith. Qualified in with a 948 into seed number 26 from the USA with an overall, with a DAS PB of 1.21 million, which is good for about 47th on the overall list. This is Iankeith's second appearance in DAS Masters, played for the first time in October, getting into either into round 2 or qualifying into round 2. Iankeith also played in Stupid Tetris Monthly back in 2021, and they were the runner-up in silver in 2022, and then the following year made it to the semifinals in CTWC Silver. Also played in all the iconic CT DAS test and real tournaments, the ones put on by Scamper. In the early, DAS series of tournaments. 170 for Iankeith, 216 for Chroma. Iankeith bopping along. People always say, it'll never happen, then it does. Yeah, I was even a person saying, oh, no one will ever tie. But then they tied like 2 days later. And that's my rule. My rule is don't say something that actually could easily happen, but is just statistically improbable, will never happen, because it can happen. And I broke my own rule, and I paid for it. 274 Chroma, 242 for Iankeith. That was a couple days after we were talking about ties in the chat. Like, what should the rules be and what would happen? And we've landed on, at least going forward, starting, subsequent months. You can't change rules in the middle of a month. What we're going to call the Regina Phalange rule, or if 2 players tie and score, then the player with fewer lines wins because they were more efficient. But of course, that wouldn't have applied to last night because they had the same line, same score. 362 for Chroma, 289 for Iankeith. We also, didn't we have someone win by pushdown points too? Like, it wasn't the same day. Maybe it was a day before. We had someone literally win by pushdown points. That was intentional. They tied it up. I forget which one that was. Yeah, it was 3 points. Who was that again? I forget who that was. So it's all my whole bucket list is happening. We're doing DAS tournaments, Stupid Tetris Monthly. We're doing Tap Masters. A tie has happened. Push down point win. We had where it's all happening. And what could be my final year of CTM? We got to get it all done. Got to cross everything off the bucket list. 414 for Iankeith. There's a Tetris. 437 for Chroma, whose board is a bit high. This is really tough for a DAS stack here. Why am I retiring? I'm very strongly considering like 70%. Oh no, that long bar to the left, that is going to cut Chroma's board off, and Iankeith is going to take game number 2. So, Iankeith, you are good. But yeah, I feel like it's time for some new challenges in life. Iankeith says, fun fact, I was part of CTL's second ever tie. Well, look at that. They've had 2. We've had 1. Maybe that's happened down in the lower tiers. I don't know. Will this rule incentivize pushdowns? I'm imagining. Yeah, we got to get the Bear Game tournament. That's the other thing on the bucket list. I'm just getting all the stuff done that I've always wanted to do. That way, when I do decide it is time, I can leave with no regrets. All right, new pieces for the players. 239A26. It's just a redo. I mean, if it's a redo, then that match didn't happen. So to me, the match has to happen. Like, it happened. So it's got to go. It's got to be in history, right? So maybe it's a half point for everybody. I don't know. That it went on Classic Tetris's Instagram. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. CTL had. I'm sure CTWC had a lot to do with CTL's stuff happening in CTL. So makes sense that they would post it on their Instagram. All right, let's see. Let's 239-826, 239-826. Both players are ready. It is game number 3. So what was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Chroma and Iankeith. Well, what if it's like 2-1 and then there are 2 ties? Does that mean just like if it's a half point and 2 ties happen? And I guess I don't know. I'm very tie averse. If you somehow tie twice, wrap the game up, you mean like overall just end Tetris? I agree. Oh, you mean just end the match? All right. $45,000 for Iankeith, $23,000 for Chroma in this very exciting match with fire alarms and internet outages, disaster masters in full effect. $91,000 for Iankeith, $69,000 for Chroma here in game number 2. Tetris for Iankeith, 139. 79,000 for Chroma. The winner of this match will take on Hana. And this will all feed into a match against defending champion Giovanni. 153 Chroma, 168 for Iankeith. And yeah, 2 more DAS Masters brackets today, starting in about 4.5 hours from now. Defending champion. So yeah, Giovanni is the reigning champion. $237 for Iankeith, $223 for Chroma. Of course, Iankeith named neither Ian nor Keith, and I, as an actual authentic Keith, you know, I'm a little peeved. I'm a little aggrieved by it, you know. Our culture is not your costume, okay? Yeah, stealing Keith Valor. Indeed. 307 for Iankeith, 274 for Chroma. Where does the name Vandy come from? It comes from Van Dweller, which is kind of my overall persona. And Van Dweller comes from the fact that I used to be a Van Dweller, and I also used to produce a podcast for a lady back in like 2005 about van dwelling. And so I made that my poker name on like online poker. It was Van Dweller. And so then I started doing poker training content under the name Van Dweller as well. And I just kind of signed up with Twitch as that also. And so I've just become known as that. 364 for Iankeith, 330 for Chroma. What if there was a small bounty for a post-19 tie to compensate for losing while giving both players a point during a tie. Well, a bounty? Well, then that would incentivize players to collude to collect the bounty. So no, you cannot incentivize behavior which is beneficial to both players that would incent them to collude. So 396 for Iankeith, 379 for Chroma. But then they wouldn't advance. What? I guess I don't follow. They both get a point during a tie, but there's a small bounty. But if they tied, why wouldn't they advance? I don't get it. You want to pay someone to like just choose to lose? And so the other person could go on and play? Like, I guess I'm not following on the but yeah, overall I do not want to incentivize behavior that could lead or reward behavior that could incent collusion. 474 for Chroma, 471 for Iankeith. Like if you said, oh, there's a bounty if both players lose with a club 0, then their players are just gonna go, hey, let's get that bounty, and then they'll just lose on purpose, but like fake on purpose. $501 for Iankeith, 520 for Chroma. Tetris for Iankeith, 530. Chroma gets a Tetris into 19, 547. And plus a bounty, that costs me money. All right. What do you think? I'm made of money? I can pay players to lose? All right, 567 for Iankeith, 576 for Chroma. There's a Tetris Chroma 601 level 20. It prompted Scamper to add the no collusion rule. Well, I mean, that's always a rule in like every competition. Like, you don't just add a rule. That's like adding a don't cheat rule. Like, well, yeah, it's kind of implicit, right? That is kind of weird to have a no collusion rule. 612 for Iankeith, 668. There's a Tetris for Chroma, 695. Tetris for Iankeith, 648, 726 Chroma. You think don't cheat is a good rule to have? Yeah, but it's not a rule, because if you're willing to cheat, you're willing to break the rules, including the one that says don't cheat. So it doesn't it's like you know, that's, you can't have a law that says follow the laws. Like, well, that's obvious and it doesn't do anything. 768 for Chroma, 742 for Iankeith. It's not like, oh, I was gonna cheat, but then I found out it was against the rules. that doesn't really work. $787 for Iankeith, 837 Chroma. All right, Iankeith's left side going to need some help. So I think they're all out of skims here. So a long bar is what is needed, and it's not coming. That's going to be a top out for Iankeith at 793. And Chroma is good in game number 2. So, yeah, Iankeith's board was all, you know, basically they took every burn they could, and at that point, they're just all in on a bar. And it never came. So, Chroma, you are good. Yeah, you played an actual real game, if you can believe it. That is still game number 3. Game number 2 will not go in the history books, but yes. All right, let's get these players some new pieces. There they are, 88 to B7B, 88 to B7B. You know, I always think of, Iankeith kind of, like in my category, just kind of Tetris senior citizen, like whatever. But they were runner-up in silver bracket in CTWC. So that's like with a 1.2 DAS. Like, that's like, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, that's really, really good. All right. Looks like both players are on seed. Both players are signaled ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. Game number 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Chen says, Vandy, are you considering retiring? I'll retire with you. Yeah, at some point. I would not be surprised if in the next year it happened. Although I've been saying that since 2018. But I'm feeling it. I feel like I need an additional challenge. All right, we'll try to get picked up as a real esport, and then if we don't, then I'll retire. We'll try to get on TV or something. We'll make a good effort. 49,000 for Iankeith as we get underway. 25,000 for Chroma. And Chroma's board a little dicey here. Okay, the bar, yeah, I wouldn't say bailed necessarily, but Chroma really needed that bar. Maybe true ties should be decided by placement at the last Masters event. No, I don't think anything outside of the actual match should determine anything about the results of the match. Every month is a clean slate. You wipe the previous months behind you. You have a brand new chance, unencumbered by the past. And that is an important element for me. So if other people want to make, that a rule of their tournament, feel free. But nope, I like the idea of you got a clean slate. It's a new you. And it's all up to you. 149 for Iankeith, 128 for Chroma. Ties determined by who got the first Tetris. Then I'd have to remember who got the first Tetris. I can't even remember my own birthday. $155 for Iankeith, 151 for Chroma. Oh, Tetris wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you. Appreciate that. So Chroma works, on his scene has a squish cam. And I've realized that the squish cam meta is don't crop it. Put your entire cam on the screen, but just squish it so you get a true like 16:9 or whatever on the screen. And therefore I know exactly how to unsquish it. Because all I have to do is, put it back in a 16:9, and then it's perfect. So that is the meta. If you want to do squish cam, guys, I am 100% in favor of it, but you have to make it a 16:9 thing that's squished. I think that's the law. Cobra does that as well. As soon as I figured that out, I knew exactly how to unsquish Cobra and Chroma's cams. What is squish cam, says Madros? I will show you after this game. 304 for Chroma, 301 for Iankeith. All right, there's a nice triple to uncover the right side for Ian. Tetris for Chroma, 352, 337. Now 360 for Iankeith. Iankeith would be a good brand name for like men's skincare, hair care products. If you want to, you know, like most of those names that people make, there's like skincare products and stuff, and they have like a name. They're not like really anybody's name. They're just chosen like arbitrarily. So Iankeith could be that. $376 for Iankeith, 401 for Chroma. Any chance you'd still run Mega Masters after stepping away from CTM? Yeah, I don't know. It's possible CTM would still continue in some form. Maybe I'd kind of hang on to it and let other people run with it and then step in every once in a while, or just kind of intercede and call a new government, like, you know, like parliament, like the queen or whatever can call a new parliament or something, or the king. Then I just say, yeah, you guys, it's not working. Let's get some new, you know, and then just let them run it. But every once in a while, intercede if things are going awry. Oh, Colin is threatening to come back out of retirement. Oh my goodness. 452 for Iankeith, 484 for Chroma. Vandy isn't retiring until he's 65. Well, if this is my job, there's no way I can retire at 65. How would that even happen? Like, where? How would I do that? I gotta have to move back to the van. Go, you know, go live on some like BLM land in Arizona or something. 567 for Chroma, 514 for Iankeith. Tetris for Iankeith, 555. 611 for Chroma. Chen says, oh, I'll run futures, and then says futures will have its own prize pool. But then, you know, you've incentivized people to smurf and play lower than their ability. Like, would you rather be 32nd in Masters or first in futures, right? So you can't do that. You can't do that, Chen. See, this, to me, this shows me that you're not qualified to do it. 655 for Chroma, 661 for Iankeith. $25 cap for futures? Yeah, but it doesn't. Then it doesn't make it. Why would you even play? Like, what is the point of the $25 prize pool? Like, that's not much. All right, Tetris for Iankeith, 737, 669. Chroma cannot get the long bar over to the left. And Iankeith has a lead when Chroma topped out. And we are now in, or going to, a deciding game number 5. Iankeith says, after that dig all through the latter half of 18, I'm just glad I was close, to be honest. You'll run it like CTWC? Well, then you're definitely not qualified, Chen. I'm just kidding around with you, buddy. Okay, new pieces for the players. B08FC8. So B08FC8. Nope. Let's see. No, Chroma, you just got seed checked.
You just got seed checked.
All right, B08FC8. Good. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let us get them started. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 1 between Chroma and Iankeith. The winner goes to round 2 to take on Hana in 3-1 Tetris. Iankeith says, happy birthday, Vandy. I joined the 40 club this month. Yeah, I saw that on Liquipedia earlier, that you were right around 40. So GG's on that. Congrats on remaining alive. Vandy is retiring from Tetris to make the D-Cider drink empire. You know, that's another thing that's on the Tetris bucket list for me is, you know, make a D-Cider beverage company. That's not a category right now. Energy cider. Like non-alcoholic energy cider, right? Or alcoholic energy cider. What the heck? All right, let's make that. If there's anyone in the beverage industry that wants to partner on energy cider, naturally sweetened, but for real, right? Let's do it. Lori just got out of the 40 club. Oh, man. So you're really old. Oh, congrats. Lori, you've made it. I'm not far behind you. 186 for Iankeith, 130 for Chroma. Hagen says, I have an apple tree. Let's do this. All right, me and Higgins, we're going into the beverage business. 209 for Iankeith, 153 for Chroma. If Chen gets CTM, then you quit, says Kingsman. Well, that's, I mean, don't incentivize me to give Chen CTM. $287 for Iankeith, $248 for Chroma. I would let Kingsman take it over and put it in his Tetris portfolio, but we got to keep it out of hand. We got to keep it out of the hands of the evil corporate Tetris overlords. We have to remain an indie tournament. 306 for Iankeith, 295 for Chroma. All right, Tetris, Iankeith, 330, 319 for Chroma. All right, Ian with that pullback of the bar here. Another bar to get set up. Oh, there was a line spin on Chroma's side. I guess I'm mesmerized by Iankeith bopping around. Ian's feeling loose. Ian's feeling loose. 389 for Chroma, 399 for Iankeith. There's a Tetris Iankeith 422. Iankeith got that CTWC jersey on. Chroma going no logo. I do like the no logo look. I did that for a few years, although I recently started wearing the Red Sox hat again. $514 for Iankeith, $467 for Chroma. That's right. My hat is made of Red Sox. All right, Chroma with a bit of a spire that he's trying to work around. Long bar gets over. Iankeith with a good pace, 543, 2 lines away from 19. What's your favorite music genre? Me? Mark Triss? Are you asking me or someone else in chat? 568 for Iankeith, 505 for Chroma. All right, about a 60,000 point lead for Iankeith. All right, you're asking Laurie. Good. Everyone. Oh, all right, you're asking everyone. Well, then thank God you're not asking me specifically. That way I don't have to answer. 649 for Iankeith, 538 for Chroma. It's complicated. All right, 623 Chroma, 665 Iankeith. About a 46,000 point lead for Iankeith. Tetris is on level 23. Are worth 28,800. So it's about a 2 to 3 Tetris lead. Iankeith, 100,000 point lead. Level 25. There's a Tetris for Chroma. Oh, and I guess it is a D-sider, so I got to put the D on the screen there. There it is. Tetris for Iankeith, 876. Chroma uncovers the right side, gets a Tetris down, 771. So Iankeith still kind of humming along here, although a little tiny bit of a slowdown. Chroma not necessarily in a position to quickly take advantage. And Iankeith still with that 100,000 point lead, 20 lines to go. So whatever scoring these folks are going to do in this match are going to have to happen now in the next, 15 lines. So how is Chroma going to make up in the next 13 lines or whatever all this? He's going to have to Tetris out and really just hope Iankeith can't score too much. Oh, that left side. He's going to have to keep building. And oh no, those gaps are going to probably seal it for Chroma. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. Iankeith with that 972, a Tetris into 29 for the max out for Iankeith. So Iankeith will come from behind and take this match in a decider, 3-2. And yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I thought Iankeith started out kind of slow, and then, but I don't know. It just came really great stamina, roaring back. Game 5 decider will be moving on. Chroma, a great match from you as well. GG's. Hope to see you again in future months. Also, congratulations this month on making it into Masters for the first time. So, hope to see you again. We're going to bring up Hana now. We're going to report this as well. Let's see. Das Masters 3-2. Oh, anyway, yeah. Let's. There's Squish Cam. So, do you see Chroma's cam? It's squished in, but the actual dimensions of that camera are 16:9. So, if I stretch out that camera to perfect 16:9, it's perfect. Like, it's literally perfect. If I stretch it out to 16:9, then it's absolutely perfect. So that's the way to do Squish Cam if you're going to do it. Like, don't cut the camera at all. Put the entire camera on there, and I know I can just crop to the edge and stretch it out 16:9, and that is perfectly the perfect dimensions. All right, 3 Iankeith to Chroma. And I do like that because then I get the maximum selectivity, right? You get to be sort of in the middle of it. I get tons of white space around you. That's what I need. All right, let's bring in Hana. So, again, GG's Chroma, but goodbye. We're going to bring in Hana. We'll fix up the cam. And then let's do our little magic here. Match the walls. Color match the walls. There you go. And I guess we don't really have to color match the side too much. There's really not much to do there. We'll go right here. It's fine. All right. Had to grab another sparkling water. Good. Coffees for the morning? Oh my God, that is so not my philosophy. Wonder why I can't sleep. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and give you pieces. You can feel free to warm a little if you need to. What is TSP? What is that? What competitive venue is TSP? Tetris for the serious players. I don't know what that is. All right, just give me 1 second, guys. Okay. TNP and TSP were CTL spinoffs. Got it. All right, looks like both players are ready. It is round 2, folks. Hana versus Iankeith is about to happen on your screen. I am pretty excited for this one. The winner will go to the top 16 to take on Giovanni later in the month. Let us get them started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. TSP is Tetris Service Provider. 100 bits from Colin says, go, Das, go. Thank you. Also, I think a bit ago we had a tier 1 resub from Angry Roro. Really appreciate that. Sorry if I didn't acknowledge it before. I just was probably in the middle of something here. So, but I have thanked you, so hopefully you're still here to hear that. On the left side of your screen, it is who? It is Hana. Hana qualified into seed number 10, securing a round 1 bye, so gets a start here in round 2. So seed 10 off of a 1.048 million qualifier. It's the average of their best 2 games played in a 60-minute qualifying period. Hana from the USA has a 1.27 million PB. That's good for about 21st on the overall PB leaderboard. 2 previous appearances in Das Masters, finishing as high as the top 24, which is in February of 2025. So this is Hana's 3rd appearance in Das Mastered. Played in Mega Masters in 2023. That was the big year with 76 or 78 qualifiers or whatever. We should do that again. We should do that next time. No max out left behind again. I like it. Hana has won a Hopefuls circuit. That was back in November of 2023. Has been in the CTWC gold bracket 1 time. Was that this? What year? When was that? Was that this year? I don't remember, but has finished in silver. Was top 4 in silver in 2024. Also played in silver in 2023 and 2025. Played in Jonas Cup last year. Was 2nd in the Genesis DAS event at Genesis X2. Also played in the Open tournament as well. Played in a bunch of those early Scamper CD DAS test and real tournaments, and did secure a 3rd place in the CT DAS real tournament in 2023. And Hana also one of our qual checkers, and always knows if I go, hey guys, who's getting who gets the semis rule, futures rule, who gets the auto promoted, Hana always chiming in. Yep, there it is. I'm like, all right, thank you, Hana. So very helpful in CTM. And someone who is not helpful in CTM, Iankeith on the right side, seed number 26. Defeated Chroma to make it here into round number 2. Qualified into seed number 26 with a 948 qualifier. Has a 1.218 DAS PB. That's good for about 47th. Ian's making their second DAS Masters appearance. Has finished as high as the top 24, which is round 2. And that was, that was in the October, the one month that Iankeith played. Also played in Stupid Tetris Monthly in 2021, which I guess now has been retconned into a Masters appearance. And Iankeith was the runner-up in the silver bracket in 2022 and was top 4 in 2023 in that silver bracket at CTWC. And Iankeith also played in a bunch of those CT DAS test and real tournaments back in the day. And that is Hana and Ian. So as I said, the winner of this will be moving on to the top 16 to play against the defending champion of this tournament, Giovanni. So now there's 3 overall different winners of this event. Andy, Doug, and Giovanni. And you knew it was just a matter of time before someone else broke through. And Giovanni really just plays amazingly. Kingsman says, Vandy, play your CTM match so I can win tier 2. Oh crap. I've gotta do that. I have to reach out to I don't know who my partner is, my opponent. $4.95 for Hana, $3.99 for Iankeith. Who is my partner, Kingsman? Kingsman, if you want to schedule it, I'm pretty much free anytime there isn't a there isn't a stream going. Oh no, Iankeith's gonna top out at 406. And Hana is gonna take game number 1. Oh no. Rippers. So Hana is good in game 1. At least this time I let you get through the intros. Yes, indeed. Well, thankfully, Iankeith, yours is very short. Got him. Anyway. All right, let's go ahead and run these players some new pieces. Oh, if you had feelings, they'd be here right now. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. You're not going to spoon feed me something I signed up for? Oh, shoot. All right, yeah, I guess I forgot entirely about that. Is that still a... That's still a command? Nope, it is not. That's a very old meme from the classic Tetris community. Most of you people don't know it at all. All right, DE80E1. All right, both players are ready. Game number 2, Hana's up 1 game to none. 3-2-1, Tetris. It's very hard to find a non-grainy headshot for Iankeith. I had to really... I mean, the only one that's out there is this really, really grainy one that Tetris Friendlies uses, and that's not good enough. So I had to go back to silver bracket and stop on like one frame where you could kind of sort of see Ian's eyes, sort of. Otherwise, the hat just comes down right over it. So I found like the one usable frame from the one stream. And I realized how grainy a lot of those silver bracket and bronze bracket and all that they are. They're very grainy. But yeah, we got to get new headshots from some folks. So maybe we'll get some of those at some regionals and Jonas Cup and all that. What state is he in? I'm not going to sit here and dox everyone. Like, if I told you that Kingsman lives on Long Island, That wouldn't be good. People would harass Kingsman. They try to go find him. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. 121 for Hana, 100,000 for Iankeith. You think he looks Chicago? Why? Just because of all like the 6 pound pizzas that Chicago has? Anpu says it would be funny to dox players while introducing them. Yeah, it would be. You know, from St. Louis, Missouri, living on 123 Clark Street, it's Iankeith, right? Yeah, we should do that. You know, Iankeith with a really interesting phone number. Actually, every number separated by 2 in Iankeith's phone number. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Classic Docs Monthly. I think we should do it. All right, 157 for Iankeith, 199 for Hana. Yeah, I don't know if Kingsman looks like he comes from Chicago. He looks like he ate Chicago, but other than that, I don't know of any connection between Kingsman and Chicago. All right, Tetris for Hana, 250, 226 for Iankeith. Hey, O'Knight says, how would you even eat a city? You know, I didn't think of that when I made that comment, but now that you've said that, I'm going to have to reevaluate. 272 for Iankeith, 295 for Hana. I still have more headshots to track down for it tonight, and it's so hard to especially, I will say it's been harder for the DAS players just because there has been a lack of, high quality, DAS competitions. And so try to find good headshots and things like that for a lot of the DAS players. It's been tougher, but that's all right. We're getting them all in the system. We're getting it all fixed. And it just highlights to me, I think, one of the things I love about DAS Masters is players that don't normally get a lot of coverage or attention because maybe they aren't, rollers or things like that. I think a lot of those players are kind of, underappreciated. And now we have a venue, and multiple now, where they're getting to show off a little bit. 465 for Iankeith, 448 for Hana. All right, Chroma cheering on Ian in the chat. All right, one line away for Iankeith into 19 at 525. And Dirty Tetris for Hana. Into 19, 518, 556, Iankeith. Tetris for Iankeith, 581. Hana about 60,000 points behind. Tetris for Hana, 546. There's what Iankeith, 606. 60,000 point lead for Iankeith, ahead by 4 lines. So pace-wise, maybe cut that lead in half. Something like that. All right, Hana with some cleanup to do. It's going to be tricky. Oh, gets that J to the left. Oh, right. Okay. Great cleanup here for Hana. This is still very tricky with Das. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have put in significant reps on 19 with Das, but oh my goodness. Oh, Hana's board. No, that's going to be a top out for Hana at 569. Iankeith is good and will tie it up in game number 2. Burp, burp, burp. Burp, burp, burp. Nope. Thank goodness. They didn't come back. All right, this is like easily confused Siege, so we'll see how the players do. 83B805. You missed the fire alarm sounds. You're ready now. Good. 83B805. 83B805. All right, better than Chroma. Okay, both players are ready. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Hana and Iankeith. Let's get them started in game 3. Two more Das Masters brackets later tonight. Starting in about 3.5 hours, it's Das Masters Green. It's going to be Poopy Old Hag versus Meme, Winner versus AV Geek. And then following that is Zack Attack versus JDH, Winner versus Miles. I wonder when will someone make a CTM chat slander, both Twitch and YouTube. That's what I had in my mind for the last 3 hours. What is a chat slander? I don't know what that means. Okay, Iankeith with a little bit of a situation, but getting it cleared down, that long bar is going to help a lot. $82,000 for Ian, 139 for Hana. What is a chat slander? Oh, JDH is in the chat. If you've got a good headshot, JDH, feel free to DM it to me. So keep me from trying to find one. I have no idea what Mark Trist is talking about. Does anyone in YouTube know what Mark Trist is even talking about? I don't even understand. I understand all the words, but I don't understand what they all mean when put together in that order. Or most of the words, anyway. 242 for Hana, 186 for Iankeith. So this is a best of 5. So the first player with 3 next to their name is the winner. Tetris Iankeith, 255, 310 for Hana. If you are over on YouTube, think about hitting that thumbs up on there. That really helps us out, and it's free to do. So why not? 344 for Hana, 326 for Iankeith. Oh, thank you, Trudy. Thumbing up. Hana is set up in column 5. Gets a bar in there for a Tetris 381. So that's pretty darn close. Yeah, 382 for Hana, 376 for Iankeith. 4 lines separating them. All right, Hana now set up in column 3, so Hana playing that flexible well game. Let's see what they're going to do here. Oh, no, Iankeith, this could be a top out. Yeah, it is going to be a top out. Hana, you are good in game number 2. Or game number 3, and we're going to give you a 2 next to your name. That is the sentence I wanted to say, but didn't, because I'm too stupid. Game number, that one. Yeah, exactly. Stream froze. Oh, no worries. All right, both players are on seed. They both signaled ready. Game number 4, Hana up 2 games to 1. Hana looking to wrap it up right now. Iankeith needs to win to force a game 5. Let's get him started. And there they go. Starting off with that ZTZO. A slander video is where you say something about a person that is true about them and you attach a fitting video to it. Okay, that sounds we're gonna do that. We're gonna say something true about a person and then attach a fitting video to it. You know, that's been on my bucket list. Okay. Well, I've learned something. I didn't know that was a genre of video. 115 for Hana, 96,000 for Ian. Ian really exercising all the features of that office chair. You know, a lot of people don't get everything they can out of all of their products that they buy, but Iankeith really is. I got wheels. I can go back and forth, and I'm going to keep going back and forth. Yeah. You know, it's your chair. You bought it. You know, get after it. 207 for Hana, 146 for Iankeith. All right, Hana gets that long bar into column 4 to fill everything out. Long bar over Tetris, 231 for Hana through 44. So yeah, this is good pace early on for Hana. And there is another Tetris, 253. I didn't realize that Iankeith was such a dancer. This is like watching Sharky. All right, Hana. Oh, gotta chuck that couple of L pieces over to the right side. Oh my God, look how that's set up very nicely for a Tetris setup. That was pretty nifty, those 2 L pieces. That was crazy. I gotta watch that back. 305 for Hana, 246 for Iankeith. Oh, and Iankeith gonna top out. So was kind of had a high like set up for like basically 2 Tetrises, and apparently that right side was cut off, and Hana is gonna take this match 3-1. So Iankeith defeats Chroma, Hana defeats Iankeith. And that is going to do it for Iankeith's day, but a good performance and very fun stream with Ian. So really appreciate having you here. Hope to see you again. This is only your second Das Masters. Hope to have you back for additional ones. GG's to you, Iankeith, and GG's to Hana, our winner. So Hana, you will be moving on. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you topped out because you are through to the top 16. We'll go ahead and report this. We'll check out the bracket, and then I will take a nap. I'm cranky, and I need to sleep it off for an hour. That will help. Okay. The match is reported. Let's take a look at our Teal bracket. GG's again, Hana. We'll see you later in the month against Giovanni. That is Masters. This is Das Masters. I combined all my scenes. I used to have separate Das Masters and Masters scenes because I wanted to be able... I merged them because I wanted to be able to show Masters streams during Das Masters and that. But now I'm hitting the wrong ones. So, yeah, so much for that. All right, so there it is. Hana is through to top 16 with Giovanni, the first person on the right side of the bracket, or the bottom half of the bracket, to make it through. Now we will have 2 more streams tonight, basically starting in 3.5 hours or so, 7 p.m. Texas time, 0 UTC. It's going to be Das Masters Green, Poopy Old Hag versus Meme Winner versus AV Geek. That's that top green one. And then the third one on this page is Zach versus JDH, Winner versus Miles. So then that will be 3 winners on this side. And then on this side, we've already got 3. So we're making a lot of progress. Tomorrow, we're going to do the yellow bracket. Salted Sofa, username gold. And winner goes through to a top 16 with Eliash, which will be later in the month. But Eliash had a crazy performance as a DAS player in Masters during his Masters debut, right? 3 consecutive 600K plus 19 transitions. Very, very good performance. So seems to be running hot right now. Eliash could be one to watch as a potential finalist this month. And then the last one that we're going to do, DAS Masters Pink, will also happen tomorrow. So that will be the entire top 16 filled out by tomorrow. And in fact, we will be into the top 16. We're going to do the blue and purple top 16, top 8 match. That'll be Pixel Andy Dog. So tons of DAS Masters tomorrow. So, you know, just DAS weekend, y'all. All right. Well, that is going to do it for now. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Let's thank people who supported the stream during the stream. Let's see who these wonderful people are. All right. No new followers, but Twitch subs. Angry Roro Colin with the bits. Thank you very much for your support. And then prize pool. What are the prize pool lookouts? Still sitting on 102. Could use some help in that prize pool. You know, by tomorrow, we'll be into the top 16 pretty deep. So would be great if we could get some more help with this DAS Masters prize pool. Go to go.ctm.gg/DAS prize to help out there. Thanks to our patrons. Here you all are. You're all so beautiful and wonderful. Thank you very much. And special shouts to Scott Gray, J Window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato Cacket, and Mila. Appreciate that. Okay. YouTube, you are dismissed. See you in like 3 hours. Oh, Kingsman says, Kingsman did a super chat. Why aren't those showing up on the credits? But thank you, Kingsman. Super chat. Vandy, play your CTM match so I can win. All right. Thank you, Kingsman, for the $5 super chat. Take care, everybody. See you in a bit on YouTube, Twitch. We're going to raid you off to a nice place. Thanks, Chen.